Are you ready for an affordable wine country getaway? Hello foodies and welcome to Summerland, British Columbia, Canada in the heart of the Okanagan wine region. This area is home to Canada's wine train, incredible fruit orchards, boutique and historic wineries, and we've got 24 hours to explore the Bottleneck Drive.
Go along for some tasty eats and some delicious sips.
This area of British Columbia has been hit hard by climate change with drought, fires, and most recently one hell of a cold snap that has eliminated 97% of the grape harvest for 2024. If you're interested in learning more about this, I have started a second channel to deep dive into life in wine country. But otherwise, we've got you covered with the best food and drink in this more affordable community of the Okanagan wine country.
I'm Ron, the owner. So this is one of our 8 bubbles that we make. So we have 3 traditional methods. So this is our traditional method. This is from Canyon View, 2 kilometers away, sandy loam soil. So after the first fermentation, we use wild yeast from the vineyard. Then we start the second fermentation up, bottle it by hand. So last year about 17,000 bottles by hand. It's disgorged by hand and then corked, labeled, foiled. So this is as close to champagne as you're going to get without being 13,500 kilometers away.
Well, I did want to ask, why lightning rock? What is that? Because
Go down the middle of the property, you'll see it inside. You'll be able to see a picture of a rock that got hit by lightning.
Oh, wow.
So there's a very large boulder down the bottom of the property that got hit by lightning. So that's why we call it lightning rock.
Okay, there you go.
And so then everything went off of that, the electric wines and all that. And we're natural winemakers, so it was like, okay, what's a good name to go with?
Cheers. I love that they have so many bubbles.
Lightning Rock Winery produces natural wines, and for $15 you get to taste 7 different wines with an incredible view. They're dog and family friendly, you come for the wine and the views and stay for the warm hospitality. We learned so much from Ron about the valley, how it's pivoting to Washington state grown grapes during this unprecedented time with no substantial harvest within the next 3 to 4 years.
Right now we're at our second stop, Nomad Cider. We're trying some rare apple ciders and dry apple ciders. We're very excited to be here on the Bottleneck Drive in Summerland. So it's kind of like central Okanagan, in between Kelowna and Penticton. We've got cideries, breweries, wineries, distilleries, and it's an affordable option to Kelowna. We have gorgeous scenery, we've got orchards, vineyards, and this is the Okanagan at its finest and most affordable.
While at Nomad, don't miss your opportunity to pair your cider tastings with the food, especially the barbecue.
Okay, we've got pulled pork sandwich. Smoky, sweet, tender, fatty. With that coleslaw, so nice. What I love about these smaller communities, the food, you never know where you're gonna find it. Whether it's a food truck, hole in the wall on the side of the road, a restaurant, like you'll never know when you're gonna find good food. And here it's at a cider place. I will say, there are times where you order burnt ends and they can be quite fatty. This has like the perfect amount of fat on it. It's so good. It has a nice bite to it where it like cuts through the richness and the fattiness of the pork. I love this. This is so good. This feels so surreal. Sitting at an orchard under these beautiful trees, drinking incredible cider with house-made barbecue literally right there. Delightful. Delightful? Delightful. So this is the Barrel Series Sours. I have been warned about how tart it is, so let's give it a try. As soon as it hits your lips, you can tell immediately. It's almost like sour candy entering your mouth. Your mouth just starts watering right away. It's really good though. I don't think it's overly too sour where I wouldn't recommend it to people that have like a sensitivity to sour, but it is really good. I could drink this all day. I'm gonna try this now. Oh, it is really sour. I find that really sour. Yeah, I could not drink that all day. I don't know if you can see this, how thin that is right there. That looks so crispy. Pickles, saucy, double patty, soft bun. You're not gonna believe it. It's so good. As you can see, it's so good. Nice and spicy, not too spicy. Has a bit of crunch to it, but doesn't seem breaded. Really good flavor.
In the Okanagan, it would be a shame if you didn't take a dip during the warmer months. So the cameraman and I headed to the beach. But if you're not interested in cooling down, there are plenty more options to keep your foodie tour going. Breweries and wineries like Sage Hills are a great option for even more food and views over a local glass of wine. The Kettle Valley Steam Train hosts daily tours, kid-friendly themed train experiences, and I suggest planning a trip around the wine train event that happens every June. For dinner, we met up at Summerland Resort's Shaughnessy Cove for a lakeside dining experience before calling it an end to our first 12 hours in Summerland. This place is popular with the locals and the tourists alike, so make sure you make a reservation. They have something for everyone here, and be sure to come back for breakfast. It's really good. It's our second day and we're getting straight to it with coffee in hand. A mini hike to the Trout Creek Trestle built between 1912 and 1913. The bridge was the highest structure, stretching from 619 feet across and 238 feet above the canyon floor. If you purchase tickets to the Kettle Valley Steam Train, this is actually one of your stops along the route. It's now part of the Kettle Valley Rail Trail and the Trans-Canada Trail, so it's very popular with bikers and hikers. If you're traveling with family, Summerland Sweets is a popular spot for their jams, all locally made. Sleeping Giant Fruit Wine is available for tastings inside, and Summerland Smoke Shack was just setting up as we were departing. If you're going to ask any local, they're all going to tell you to stop at Dirty Laundry Vineyard.
Definitely very popular for our rosé.
Yeah, like I see this in Save On,
like
everywhere.
Exactly. Yeah. Our rosé is what people usually come here for, or people have already had it by the time they're here.
Oh yeah.
I will say the train's coming, so if you guys want to take your wine over.
Gotta make sure you wave. Nobody's waving at us.
I'm gonna give you guys a little clothespin, so you guys can put it on your collar or like your pocket, whatever you like. It's just so everybody around town knows it. So.
Oh my god, that's so cute. That is so cute. I love that.
Yeah.
So who's the Davisms?
The Davisms, that basically is one of our colleagues. So he was fighting cancer and he basically beat cancer once already, and then now he just got diagnosed with brain cancer.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And so he does like these Davisms, and so every single day I get a Davism of the day that gets sent to like our group of our emails.
Oh my gosh.
So I think in the middle of September we're gonna do like a fundraiser for him.
Yeah.
So he's going through chemo right now. And so we just got this support basically made for him.
I love that. Yeah. So what is the story behind the actual name of Dirty Laundry? Yeah, I've been like dying. I can't.
That's funny. I was actually just gonna say it.
Okay, great.
So nobody's been here, right?
Nobody.
Okay, perfect. So I'll tell you this one little story. So in the late 1800s, there was about 15,000 hardworking laborers who moved here to Summerland to build a railway. And there was a man by the name of Sam Suey. He was a savvy entrepreneur who decided to leave the harsh conditions behind him and open up a laundry service right here in town. And after a while, he noticed that the men getting their clothes cleaned there had some other needs. So in the hush-hush, he decided opening a gambling room and a brothel in the upstairs waiting room laundry service. It was there the men could wait for their clothes to be clean and enjoy the company of a lovely lady.
That is actually hilarious.
And so after a while, people of Summerland noticed that everybody had the cleanest clothes and the widest smiles. So they started nicknaming the place the Dirty Laundry.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Dirty, of course, being done upstairs and laundry being done downstairs. So we basically found the story, kind of took over everything, and then rebranded Dirty Laundry. So you can look in our Steam, and our photo of our logo here. We've got Sam's piping red hot iron downstairs, and then the steam escaping upstairs. And the steam, you can see the figures of 7 lovely ladies. And we like to serve one for each day of the week. And but that was the trestle that Sam was actually building.
Dirty Laundry has a grapevine-covered patio perfectly shaded for a wine tasting and dining outside. These vines of table grapes are over 40 years old and survived the cold snap. Their pizza and barbecue are celebrated by locals, and you really can't beat the view, especially when the historic Kettle Valley train chugs by.
Stuck here, who knows how many nights I've been stuck.
Solvero Winery is new to Summerland's Bottleneck Drive, and when I mean new, I mean that it opened to the public as of 2023, but has been growing grapes since 2016. The architecture of the cellar and tasting room embraces the rugged forest and terrain. Balance with nature is at the center of their philosophy.
You are here right now, and the gullies I'm talking about, that's all here. So we have very awkward box shapes. It's a very strange and challenging place to farm, but we're basically just working around what already existed here and doing our best to stay out of the way during the setup of these vineyards. So Pinot Noir and Chardonnay in particular, they reflect the time and place they're from really, really well. So if we're really delicate during setup, we can say, this honestly is what this site tastes like. We're not doing a bunch of earthwork or ripping or amendment. A lot of these vines are planted into exactly the sort of native soil horizons that were already here for eons and then watered, and we're just seeing what they produce. And it ends up being, I think, a very honest reflection of where we are.
Yeah.
So, Blanc de Noir, it won't necessarily have much color when it's finished. It may still retain some of this, but it's entirely made from Pinot Noir, so it's a red-fleshed fruit, but arrived in fresh pad and is pressed immediately. So it's removed from its skins and any chance of getting colored, and then immediately into, well, in this case, a tank to settle, and then barrel for fermentation. But sparkling wine before it is sparkling. Traditional method sparkling is very much a process-driven wine. What's in there is largely a byproduct of its process. You're supposed to start with something relatively neutral in order to do that, but to me, there's something very like red grapefruit about this.
Yeah.
Really like juiciness to it.
That's nice.
It's quite exciting.